Welcome to Face to Face. Our guest today is Rakashi Chand. She is the former president of United India Association, currently serves on the organization's advisory board. She is our guest today because we are going to talk about quarantine Diwali. She has some very unique ideas and concepts how to make this year's Diwali the best Diwali. Rakashi, welcome to our show, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. Namaste, everybody. So good to see everyone on Zoom and through this interview.
Sure.
And happy Navratri as well.
Oh, sure, same to you. And so, as you know that this COVID-19 has affected almost every aspect of our life, family, friends, school, business, college, wherever you go, and social and everything you can, events, everything. Now you have some really cool ideas how to make Diwali the best Diwali ever this year. Exactly. And we would love to hear from you. So if you can just start.
Sure. So I spent a lot of time thinking about how we can make the most of Diwali 2020 because it's the most important celebration of the year, and COVID has impacted everything. As you said, Upendaji, it's made it so that we have to really reevaluate everything and find a way to celebrate so that we can still ensure that everybody's healthy and safe. And so I've had a lot of friends come to me and say, what are we going to do this year? How are we going to celebrate Diwali? And the most important thing, and I think this is the most obvious thing as well, is that the most important part of Diwali is the family puja at home.
Sure.
And having that together is really something that we can absolutely enjoy and fulfill and do with full festivity and truly take that time to think about what Diwali means, the idea of good conquering evil, and explaining all of the traditions to our children, and just really focusing on the meaning of Diwali rather than the parties and other things that we would usually be doing right now. So in a way, it's almost an elevated experience.
Mm-hmm. So you can have more intense experience just at home, highlighting each and every aspect of Diwali.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's also one of those things where we would have such a busy social calendar this time of year. So people are saying, well, what do we do now? And so I had come up with a few different ideas about.
Let's hear. We want to hear about them. Sure.
Sure. So the first idea is actually something that you might have seen popping up in different cities, which are car caravans. So a car caravan is a nice, safe way to bring the Diwali party out into your friends and your relatives and everybody else to enjoy. Basically, you take your car and decorate it in full Diwali spirit, lights, music, everything you can think of, and then get together, organize with friends and neighbors, and drive around and bring the festivities, bring the happiness, bring the light to everybody. And it's safe, it's socially distant.
And don't forget the gifts, right? Especially the sweets.
Yes.
Sure.
But it's important, especially because a lot of the elderly in our community they're self-isolating. They are making sure that they stay away and stay safe. So be sure to check on everyone, the elderly in the community, and ask them if they would like you to drive by and bring some happiness and Diwali joy with, a wonderful car parade. It's something that would light up anyone's day. Sure. That was the first idea. The second idea, as you mentioned, is going around and surprising people with gifts and mithai. So usually we would visit friends and family, and we would spend time with them while we present them with gifts and different things. So maybe this year we can't do that because they aren't part of our bubble. So what we can do, borrowing from a tradition that you see on Halloween, where people would surprise their friends with sweets left on their doorstep. Okay. So we can still do that. We can still make wonderful mithai, wrap it up and deliver it to all of our friends and family and surprise them, leave it out there for them and say, guess what? You have a special Diwali surprise waiting for you on your doorstep. It's contactless. In that way, it's much safer.
And if you cannot do that, you can always mail the sweets anywhere, right? Sure.
That's true. That's true. We can always use online. There's so many wonderful ways that we can deliver things to all of our friends and family. And then leading to a third idea, this is a great year to bring back cards. A lot of people have sort of stopped sending cards.
You mean the old traditional Diwali cards?
Yes.
Okay, sure. Yeah, we have totally forgotten about them.
Yes. So this is a great year, and there's two ways that you can do it. The first way is actually if you and your kids want to hand make cards, that's a beautiful thing that you could do to send to all of your friends and family. Sure to bring a smile to everybody's face when they receive that card in the mail. Or you can use this as an opportunity to actually dress up and have a mini shoot, hire a local photographer because everybody's looking for work these days, and actually do a photo shoot and send a beautiful Diwali card featuring your family in festive attire. Another way that will make everybody smile.
That is something like, during the Christmas time or New Year's, a lot of people do that, something along that line.
They do.
Yeah, but I've never seen that for Diwali though, but it's a good idea to implement that. Sure.
This is a great year to do that. Let's make Diwali cards something that we can all work on, and receiving them would be so much fun.
Sure.
And another thing that we should do, and I think many people will do, but let's do it in full style this year, is decorate with lots and lots of lights.
It's decorating your home, you mean, from inside and outside?
Inside and outside, and especially outside, because it's really an opportunity to showcase your home and lighten up the lives of everybody around you. So light up the night with a beautiful display, and it would just be so fabulous if we could drive and see some wonderful Diwali lights lighting up neighborhoods. And especially now that the days are getting a little shorter, it's something that would be wonderful to see.
Yeah, actually during Christmas time, when we walk around, we see, oh, this house is really beautiful, so much decoration. So you mean that have a similar concept for the Diwali as well?
Yes, yes. And
great idea.
Another thing that we can do during this time, if people have the opportunity, do advocacy, cultural advocacy. Reach out to your cities, towns, magistrates, everybody that you can at this time, and really let them know this is the biggest Indian holiday of the year, and get it out there as something that we can promote and we can tell people about, and we can say, this is an opportunity to wish the Indian community a happy Diwali. So go out there and promote our culture and educate our neighbors about what Diwali is, because it's something that everybody can enjoy together.
Next one, any?
And then, yes, there's always more.
Okay.
So also it would be really wonderful to actually go out and dress up and possibly even choreograph a dance with your family to share with family and friends. There's a lot of sharing that we can do now that we couldn't do before.
Sure.
Some people are feeling that they cannot play the traditionally they would play card games and different games, but you actually can continue to play those things. There's so many online capacities in which we can use to continue playing games, and even across the globe. So we can still do all of those fun traditions, just in a slightly different manner. But again, the most important parts, decorating, dressing up, buying new clothes, all of those fun things we can still do. We can still share with family and friends. And best of all, we can also have our children get involved with arts and crafts. So when my children were younger, we used to make diyas at home, and I have a few that we have left over. This one was made with clay, and this one was made with a traditional tea light. So as you can see, we decorated them when they were kids. That and making decorations for the walls, making decorations to just artistic pieces, drawings, anything, and really giving them pride and joy in showcasing those things and sharing them with friends and family. It really connects the kids.
Now, since we were talking about the kids, I have to talk to you about a little bit your background. And I know your grandfather, Mr. Kshetrapal, who was one of the first Indians to come to this Boston area. And he was, I think, one of the founders of United India Association, and very active in the Indian community here. And you were, of course, born here in the US.
I was. So been
So,
celebrating.
tell me about your experience as a child growing up here and how you got so much interested into these, the Diwali and the community, etc.
Absolutely. So my family has been here for many decades now. My father came over in 1961, and at that time he jokes about the fact that everybody who was Indian in America knew each other because there weren't that many.
Sure, yeah, sure.
So they did come to the United States before I was born. So every Diwali that I've celebrated has been here in the United States. So I have a lot of experience on how to celebrate Diwali with the complications of being in not just America, but New England. So it's often—
I was going to ask you that how many Diwali you have celebrated here, but that might disclose your age, which I don't want to do that.
Many, too many times. But at the same time, it was something that was so important that my family really worked hard to make sure that we had a full celebration. We would invite everybody. Anybody was welcome to come from the community. My dadiji would make so many sweets, so much, the mithai, burfi, everything you would think of, she would make it home. Back then, back in the 70s, there really weren't that many stores that you could go to. So you had to actually bring ingredients from India if you needed them. And you would make things at home. So it would just, the smells of Diwali coming were just amazing. And I still think of my parents' house just illuminated.
Actually, I think in 1994 or 95, I did visit your grandparents' house, Mr. Chatrapal's house in Brookline, I think it was. Yes. Yes.
It's still there. It's still a wonderful place where he taught us to welcome everyone from the community, and he was always there to ensure that when people came from India, that they felt that they had found a new home, and he would always be there to help and make sure that they could find their path in America. And so that is what I was taught by my grandfather, by my dadaji. So that is how I've continued to live.
Now, what about your children? They are how active they are and how interested they are?
Oh, they're very active.
Yeah, right. Sure.
They love everything about their own Indian culture and heritage. And it's something that the parents of our generation really have to instill in the children, especially those of us who have been born and raised here in America. So now we're raising the next generation here in America, but we're raising Indian children in America. And so doing that, you have to actually actively work towards it. It doesn't come to them naturally from friends or from school. So I would, every year when Diwali was coming, I would take different arts and crafts, and I would have a demonstration in my children's school. Just to get them involved. I would tell them the stories of Diwali. I would tell them why it's important. And I would make the kids dress up in their traditional clothing and even do a little dance demonstration.
Sure. So now I have to ask you, since you have been, your family was a founder of United India Association, you were president last year, and your family has been very, very active with that group. How United India is celebrating Diwali this year? And actually the United India is very well known for their Diwali celebrations.
Yes. That was a touchstone event for United India Association. And I have been part of the Diwali celebration since the formation of the organization.
Sure.
So since I was a little kid dancing on the stage.
My God, how time flies. Incredible, sure.
True. So this year, the United India Association is going to be doing a virtual Diwali celebration.
And when is that? When?
It is going to be November 21st from 6:30 to 8. So it's the week after Diwali. So it gives you a chance after celebrating at home with your family, you'll have a chance to be involved in something virtual. And it's just going to be a great way to connect everybody from the safety of their homes.
Okay. Now, Rakashi, your last word on Diwali.
My last word is from my family to all of you. Happy Diwali.
Well, same to you. And thank you very much for amazing tips. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you.